are many policy disagreements between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and leader of the official opposition, Pierre Poilievre. And ultimately, these disagreements center around competing visions for what compassion looks like in Canada. Both men believe they offer a more compassionate view of public policy. But who's more compassionate at the end of the day? I'll let you decide. First, on the matter of euthanasia, Prime Minister Trudeau believes that more Canadians should have access to the country's medical assistance in dying program. He believes that more Canadians, including those with mental illness, should have access to assisted suicide. Ultimately, the Trudeau Liberals argue this is a matter of expanding individual rights. Poilievre, on the other hand, does not want to expand the country's medical assistance in dying program. He believes people with mental illness should be given treatment, not assisted suicide. His argument is that expanding euthanasia is offering people death instead of hope. He's even supporting a private member's bill right now that would repeal the expansion of medical assistance in dying. Second, on drug policy, Trudeau believes it is compassionate to allow for government regulation of illicit drug supplies for people who are battling addiction. The logic behind this safe supply approach to drug policy is as follows. If the government regulates illicit drugs, then it will reduce the likelihood of overdoses by ensuring that there are fewer toxic substances and making sure there are no high concentrations of dangerous drugs like fentanyl. Poilievre, on the other hand, opposes this idea. He does not believe the government should be in the business of regulating illicit drugs. In fact, his solution is to offer more treatment to addicts and use law enforcement to reduce the overall supply of drugs in the country. Ultimately, this is a very different view of the role of government when it comes to drug policy. Lastly, when it comes to the criminal justice system, Trudeau has advocated for and enforced more lenient sentences for offenders found guilty of gun crimes. This is largely motivated by the belief of Trudeau's that the Canadian criminal justice system is rife with systemic racism. For Trudeau, compassion means more sensitivity to the plight of offenders. Poilievre, on the other hand, wants stronger, tougher laws to punish people who are found guilty of gun crimes. He also wants reforms to the bail system so violent repeat offenders have a harder time getting back out on the street. Ultimately, for Poilievre, this means compassion is about greater sensitivity to victims of crime, not the offenders found guilty of crime. Across these three issues, you can see very different views of what compassion looks like. And ultimately, if Poilievre is ever going to be Prime Minister of Canada, it will be because a large number of Canadians agree that he is more compassionate on issues like this than Trudeau is. But ultimately, Canadians will have to make that decision. So let's ask, what does compassion look like to you?